It's a good win for us. We played good at times, played sloppy at times. Obviously, our running backs run really well. Up front, I thought we were average at best. I thought that Taylor was average at best. Too much. I think we had two turnovers. Both of them were close to inside the 30-yard line going in. We can't do that. Defensively, we played good. We gave up out of our gap twice and gave up two really long runs. Other than that, we were pretty good overall defensively. So it was good for us. Too many penalties on special teams. We've got to get that cleaned up. We can't set ourselves back with penalty yards. I'm looking here, 7 for 55, way too many. So it's good to get started, get out there, kind of get a feel for where we're at. Let them come in tomorrow and grade the tape and so on and so forth, and get ready for the next one.
Like, what was it that was average about Taylor?
I just thought he missed too many throws. In my head, I thought he missed 6 throws that normally he hits. His mental part, I thought, was good. He just missed some throws. Now, he got twice. He threw the ball down the middle one time, should have been picked off, and he did throw the ball down here and got it picked off. And then he just missed some throws.
And he's been more accurate than that in practice?
Sure. He'd been pretty good in practice, yeah. Yeah, it was kind of the one thing that I was kind of ready for, first time you get out there and this and that.
You see jitters early on?
I would guess, yeah. Yeah, he'll be fine.
What about second quarterback off the bench, Gundy?
Looked like he played well. Looked like he ran well and made a couple throws. He's in there with a lot of young guys, so it's not easy to operate, but I thought he did a nice job of taking care of the football, pulling it down and running when he need to.
Now, he wasn't officially on the 2 deep or whatever. I guess, does that mean he was 4th string? What was the thinking in putting him in there?
Well, to get him some work.
As opposed to the other guys?
Yeah.
Did you almost go to the other guys?
It's a complicated process. It'd take a while to explain it, but we felt at that time it's best to go with Woodty.
I think we got some time if you want to try it.
No, I don't, man. My back's killing me. I like y'all, but my back's, that turf field at my age, wearing me out.
Does he know the system better, being around longer?
I didn't hear you.
Does he know the system better since he's been around longer?
Oh, sure. He knows the offense, yeah. Yeah, we can do just about anything with him, and he's pretty comfortable with it.
Not that you expect an interception, but did you kind of anticipate that there would be throws that Taylor would miss because, like you said, his inexperience in games?
Yeah, I told you guys that everybody's going to have to be patient with him. It's his first time to ever play when you're keeping score. And I knew that he would have some jitters and fire the ball out there at times and miss some throws. I mean, I was fairly certain that would happen. That's why I said everybody's just going to have to be patient with him and let him work through some things. And early Mason did too, right? In his first year, he played after playing in the bowl game and against OU and Baylor. He missed a lot of throws in the first few games. So a lot of times that happens with young players. He should get better.
Coach, obviously the first time Chuba's seen action in the field. What do you think of his performance tonight?
I think all the backs were really good. I think that it's fairly safe to say that he and Seven are fast. We knew they're fast, and they got in the open field, and they proved that. So I like where they're at as a group. I think they're a really good package and give us a lot of depth.
And trying to limit Justice's carries tonight, probably.
Did we do what?
Trying to limit Justice's carries.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know what he ended up with. I'd like for him to get 15 touches a game. He ended up with 10. Averaged 12 yards a carry. The more that we can get him work and then keep him fresh and keep him healthy is an advantage for us. We know what we have with JD. He played a lot last year and got his work, and we got him out, and we let LD and Chuba, get some snaps, because that's really the first time that they've been in action. LD some last year, but so it was good to get him a little work. Chuba had a I don't know what it was, rushing wide. Oh, he had the long one was on a swing pass. So it's good to get those guys some work.
It looks like special teams, you've got a kicker that can put it in the end zone on the positive side, but your punt return just seems to always have something going on.
Well, I'm fired up about the kicker. You've been around here a long time like I have, and so it's nice to have somebody that's booting it in the end zone. He was fairly consistent. The one that we tried to squib, we were trying to squib it. He just didn't hit the ball where he's supposed to. And then the other one, he just kind of missed, but most of them, he was pretty good. Punt return's good. I mean, we got to quit pushing people in the back. So those things I don't have a lot of patience with in the return game, and so we'll get those cleaned up before the next game.
Could you see using both Dylan and Landon back there?
Did I feel good about what?
Could you see using both Landon and Dylan?
I feel good about Stoner and Wallace and Landon. I'm comfortable with all three of those guys now. I know Landon ran back and tried to catch one. I wasn't fired up about that, but I'm confident in all three of those guys.
What do you get the defense? How did you feel about Calvin Bundage's performance?
It looked like he played good. I think he was one of the guys that got out of his gap on one of those runs. You have to ask Coach Knowles. I'm not sure. But it seemed like that he played with effort and was coming off the edge and playing fast and things like that.
Like Mike, when you had like Bean and but you had two NFL type guys on the ends. Tonight, you a couple times or more than that, maybe Bundage lined up with his hand on the ground on the right side and Relford on the other side. I mean, that's got to be the most speed off the snap you've ever had at those two positions at the same time.
I would agree with that. Those guys, Brailford can really run, and obviously Bundage is fast. So it gives us a nice package there and lets Calvin play to his strength. That's what he's good at. He's getting a little bit better at it every year, and so we need to give him an opportunity to go after the quarterback.
I mean, is that something y'all tinkered with since?
Coach has. When he saw Calvin, he said, I want him to rush the quarterback more than not, and so that's something that he's been tinkering with for a month.
I mean, but you remember like Eric Stryker, though. I mean, he could be maybe that kind of a guy for you, right?
Yeah, same kind of body, and Stryker creates a lot of problems, and Bundage could certainly do that if he keeps getting better. You're right.
What was the offensive line tonight, in particular, short yardage?
I just thought they were average the whole night. I don't think they're anything special. There's three or four times they turn guys loose. Now, Steck's history is big slants. One time they bring the five technique all the way on the backside A gap, and so which he did that at Missouri when we played him at Missouri. Sometimes he's going to hit you, and sometimes he's going to get gashed. Just in my opinion on it, and took a lot of chances doing that. And so we have to be more consistent with it, but there are some different risks with slants and things they were doing that are difficult if they hit you, if they guess right. But overall, they were average.
Kind of clarifying earlier when John asked you about backup quarterback, said it's a long-winded answer, but does it come down to redshirt strategy? Is that?
It's going to be different every week. That's all I can say. I don't know. I can't give you a good answer. Just depending on how guys practice, how far along we think we are, how much of the offense we think they can handle, so on and so forth.
I got here late, so if you were asked this, or if you just said this, like, was there a point where you just wanted Cornelius just to relax and trust his arm and just, just fire down the field and live with the result?
He didn't do that all night. That's what we were talking about earlier. And he, in baseball, when guys try to aim it instead of just throwing the ball, pitchers, that's what he did tonight. And that doesn't surprise me. He was more tentative based on I'm the starter instead of just cutting it loose. He's got to cut it loose. It's okay. Make a mistake, you make a mistake. And so he has to take that approach, and I think he will. But that's exactly what he did. He was aiming the ball.
You said that doesn't surprise you. Does it concern you at all moving forward? You got Boise State coming in here in 2 weeks.
Mm-mm. No. He'll be fine.
You've got two other guys sitting behind him that you haven't ever seen them in a game, just like, kind of like him.
That's right.
Are you eager to, have an opportunity to see what they can do, or is that because of the complications?
Yeah, it's a complex deal, and what we're going to do is watch each one of them during the week and see where they're at and see if they're ready based on how the game goes. And a lot of times you can't predict it depending on how the game goes. So we just keep giving reps the way we are. Woodty played pretty good for the role he played tonight. We played pretty good. In fact, the best he's played.
I feel like you have a better grasp of what Taylor's capable of though in a game now that you've seen him in a game.
I think he can make plays with his feet, create some issues. That's just me. I don't know how defensive coordinators would feel about him. I think that he will give us that dimension. We haven't had that in years with Mason, so that's nice. He can run around and make some plays, I think. And he has the ability, if he takes off, he can roll pretty good. So he just needs to settle down and throw and quit being tentative with his throws. I haven't talked to him, but he'll feel the same way.
Like in the secondary tonight, you were down to 2 of your younger corners in Morgan and McAllister. What's kind of their status?
McAllister could be back anytime. Who else did you bring up? I think he could be back anytime. I saw him over there running, so I would be shocked if they're not practicing this week.
Anything else,
Coach Henry, you're a coach that feels like teams tend to make a lot of progress from week 1 to week 2. And then how are you going to approach this long week here with a couple of extra days?
Well, we need to make progress. We've got to take care of the football and get rid of the penalties. We've got to be better up front. And Taylor's got to settle down and play. And then defensively, I'm sure Coach is going to want to make sure we're in our gap a couple times. So tomorrow they'll have a day off other than film watch and run. We're not going to practice. Saturday they'll be off. And we'll bring them back to practice on Sunday. And I might try to dove hunt a little bit, but it's been pretty green and a lot of rain. I'm concerned about whether the dove are going to land. What about out at Enid?
Haven't heard much.
Okay, I need to know because I got some places to hunt out there, and I'm concerned.